What is going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well. As for myself, doing pretty good. Sitting back down at the desk to get a quick daily recap out of the way on a day where I actually broke a trading rule. And in doing so, I made about $500 in less than a couple of minutes, y'all. So is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing that I broke a rule? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing that I made a little over 500 bucks? Let's go ahead. Let's look at it. Let's talk about it. And we're going to get up out of here. So I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll bring up the trade performances. We're gonna roll with what we normally do. Reviewing trades for April 17th. Once again, this is in the Apex PA account. I am focusing on the PA account over the Top Step account right now. Showing that we had a total net profit today of $540. That was grossing 565 and we lost 24.50. We made $5.50 going long. We made $535 going short. If you look on the long side, it said we had one winning trade and two losing trades. There's actually one losing trade, but it was two contracts that took the L. And then going short, two contracts, 100%, we were done. Average winning trade, 188. Average losing trade, $12. That's a 15R ratio. That is absolutely bonkers. Largest winning trade, 270. Largest losing trade, $17.40. Knocked it out the park today, but it was a little unorthodox. And again, we did break a trading rule. Let's go ahead. Let's bring up the charts. And we will go ahead and look at those real quick. One thing I didn't do yesterday, I'll do it today. Let's go ahead and bring up the 5-minute chart. And when I say I broke a trading rule, it's not clickbait, but my trading rule, I said that I did not want to trade before like 7 a.m. What I found is 7 a.m. has been my sweet spot that I like to trade. And I took this trade this morning around 1 something, right around up in here. But you notice chart has no lines on it. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna just throw some trend lines on here real quick as if I was so if I had sat down right at this time, this would have been the trend line. This is going to be actually a little bit, I think I got in right around, actually, no. It was more right up in this area right here that I got in. So as this flush was kind of happening, but I just want to draw this trend line just so you can see it. Boom, boom, boom. It's working. It's working. And it comes over and fails. You get another trend line over on this side, where you'd be able to kind of come here, put a point right there, come on the back side, put it right there. And actually, nah, that one, I got it a little narrower than I would actually want it. So I'm going to delete that one. And trend lines, they can kind of move and you can kind of adjust it as it plays out. Right there has the most points touching, I think. You come in touching down through there. You come down touching through there. And like I said, once if it breaks out and it gets back in, usually going to get that explosive move. But that's what the market did. 2 a.m. kind of grinded up. It got out of the channel, tried to make a newer high. Couldn't really. Just consolidated over 7 o'clock, kind of tapered off, grinded back up at 8 o'clock. Market opened and it just tanked out. But that's the 5-minute chart right there. Let's go ahead, and this is kind of backwards because the trade that I want to look at right now is actually the second trade that I took this morning. So we'll look at it, and then we will look at the first trade and the third trade. And this is just going to be a very quick just peek at it, just so we could look. And then I'll flip over. This was on the MNQ. I took a long right here, y'all. Took a long, playing this to hold previous day's close. This came down. I added one more here. And my stop out was here when this broke this level right here. And again, this was the second trade. So a couple of things going against us, clearly in a downtrend. So I'm trying to play a bounce, but I have a very tight stop. And the risk on this trade, being the second trade, was what I made on the first trade. So that's how that's explained right there. The risk for this trade was what I made on the first trade. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up NQ now. And something else I'll do it while we're looking at this chart. I'm going to switch this over to a 100 tick chart. I know I usually am trading a 200 tick chart, but after hours, because orders are coming in slower, I will switch over to the 100 tick chart. And that way, every candle is 100 orders as opposed to 200 orders. So let's just take a look and see what it looks like. Notice the difference in picture by me just changing that from a 100 or from a 200 to a 100. So notice on the 100 tick chart, this was coming down. It bounced off of previous day's close, came up. It bounced off of previous day's close. I'm getting in right here for the continuation and the break of this high. When this didn't break that high right there, though, this was a donation. Looking at this chart. And this is why I like to go back and look at my trades, because I can kind of see why a trade didn't work. This is a nice W bottom setting up. You get the bounce, back down. Notice the W. That's that leg of the W. This is the center. This is that leg back down. Now you want to see this go back up. You want to see this do the same thing that did. When this did not break the high of this right here, I should have got out. Should have just, where I entered it, should have took a stop right there and just stopped out. But again, I was risking what I made on the first trade. So I basically lost everything I made on that first trade. But let's go ahead and let's flip over to NQ. I like that I switched this over to a 100 tick chart though, because now you can clearly see what my play and what my thought was. Bounced, came up, bounced. I'm looking for the W to kind of just continue up to 100 SMA. Didn't get it. Took the stop, and you'll see that it was a good stop, because had I held on to that bad boy, we would have gave up a whole lot, and I would not have been able to make what I made today. So now this is the NQ chart. I traded NQ first. And the reason I was up at this time, I had just gotten off work, off my little part-time gig over at Delta. Sat down at the computer to order some shirts, and the charts were open, and I took a look, and I kind of liked what I was seeing. So this was the first trade that I took right here. The market had come down. And it had bounced off of previous day's close. And I was just looking for a quick pop, hopefully back up. I was looking for that pop back up. I got long. Soon as it got into some decent profit, I'm chasing it, because I have several things working against me in this trade. First one being, I'm not going with the trade. The trade is red. The trade is a short. So I'm going against the grain. So when this does pop up, and it was up maybe about $60 at one time, I put my stop to about $35, and it came back and it stopped me out, and I made $30. So from that, with that $30, I switched over and I started trading MNQ, and now I'm playing MNQ for the bigger bounce. But notice something. Look at the difference in picture. Remember on MNQ, we actually had a W forming. On the NQ, there is no W. It just kind of came back up to the fast moving average, pushed back down. So took this trade. This is the flow of it. I took this trade. I made $30. I switched over to MNQ, and we get the W, or what looked like a W forming, and I risked the $30. So on the first one, I lost $17. And then on the second one, I lost $7.50. So that made me lose $24.50. But once that failed, and I noticed we were not going to hold previous day's close, I hammered in, y'all. I hammered in because now I'm on the right side of the trade. That's what I was looking for when I was over here discussing this. I'm on the right side of the trade now. So I grabbed 2 NQs now. I grabbed 2 NQs, and my goal is to trade this down to this level right here. When I say this thing instantly went green, y'all, look at that. I'm in at 152 and 49 seconds. I'm out at 153 and 46 seconds. 57 seconds, and I was up over $550. This thing just skyrocketed. And again, I'm just trying to see this down because this is a 4-hour level. I'm just trying to see this down to this 4-hour level. When I saw the profits, I got my stop in place, and I just let it come back up, tag me. It stopped me out. And at that point, I was done. But let's look and see what this thing continued to do. So from just this move, that's 859. This thing went down to 843, y'all. Call it, yeah, 843. So 859, 843, 16 points on one contract. That's $320 on 2 contracts. That's $640 from 153 to 154. Another minute, and this would have made another $600. But again, I just wanted to see this down to this level. Now, could I got out of one of the contracts and tried to let this one play out? I could have, but more times than not, when I hold on to one of them, this thing normally goes against me. And that's the trading guides. That's just how the trading guides are. But 1 minute, y'all, we were up $550, and I was done. And even though I did break a rule, I'm trading a time that I don't really want to be trading. I think that I traded it properly. I think right here, looking for that retest the previous day's close to kind of push back up. Decent thought out. It was so close to this moving averages, though, that it didn't really have enough room to try to go. I think the long on the MNQ, trying to play that W again, smart play. But once I was in it and it did not come back and break that previous pivot, should have been looking to get out. So like I said, I basically donated $7.50. Donated $7.50. And then when this let go of previous day's close, solid trade, and I'm good with my exit because, again, that was my target. Once this made the move, I am chasing this thing with a very tight stop. And did we leave a lot of money on the table? Yeah, we left quite a bit of money on the table, but at the same time, we took quite a bit of money home. And we just increased our gains for this PA account to after 10 days to be able to request a payout. So thought process is keep trading smart trades, well thought out trades, and cut the losses quick and lock in gains. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up fairly quick today. 15 minutes, about to get back out in the shop. Got a few orders I need to work on. Headed up to Minneapolis tomorrow for lunch. They got a nice restaurant up there, so I'm gonna take advantage of my flight benefits and go up there and grab a meal. So I don't think I'll be trading tomorrow. I will probably just take one trade sometime after 6 p.m. today if I can get a solid pattern forming, just so I can get my trade in to call it a day. Will probably be an MNQ again, unless it's a solid play. But on that note, as always, thanks for checking me out. If you hadn't hit the like button, now would be an excellent time to do so. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comments. What is your thought on this market, y'all? We only spoke on the futures today and yesterday. Yesterday was a red day for me in my options account. Actually took two trades that were up nicely green, and I was P&L watching instead of trading the charts. Today, played a couple of SPY options again, traded the chart. First trade was red. Second trade, solid green trade, made back pretty much everything that we lost. Not gonna say everything. We did make back everything that we lost on the first trade, and most of what we lost on the second trade. Actually, I may have made all of it back. I might have to go back and look. I might have made back everything that I lost from yesterday and off that one trade. So trying to do good things over there with the options account. Same principles, trading trends, trying to make sure that I'm catching good trends, trying to play price levels to look for solid little bounces if I think it's going to bounce. On that note, again, I'm up out of here. I don't think I'll be trading tomorrow, so I probably won't get a recap done, but we'll be back at it again Friday. Peace.